What's happening, guys? Hardcore Kid here, and I'm here with Hunter Ivey.
What's up?
I am recording live from the Google Studios. As you can see in the background, everybody's got their own little personal space on this giant track, and I'm in the. I got this nice big red one where I'm positioned. So, and what's going on with you, Hunter?
Nothing much. Just chilling and
I see
you
your
should know
cat's
that.
chilling.
Yeah, she's on my notebook. Not good.
Handy dandy notebook. Uh, Yeah, so as some of you may know, I am in fact a big BattleBots fan, and right now Discovery Plus is currently airing the BattleBots bounty matches. I don't have Discovery Plus yet, but I'll get around to it eventually. But Hunter, apparently you have Discovery Plus, yes?
That is true. I have Discovery Plus, and the reason why I only have Discovery Plus is because there's only a few shows I like to watch, which are Tanked, including other shows like Infested. Even though they canceled that show, which I was really disappointed by that.
Mm.
I was extremely disappointed when they canceled Infested. It was one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, what is it? Have like bugs and insects and stuff.
Well, yes, but also it was a really good show. But the biggest problem was Animal Planet producing the show.
Yeah,
They cancel when they released the third season, and they actually took the third season off the air.
that sucks.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but another thing that Discovery Plus is currently airing is the nefarious Onision documentary by Chris Hansen.
Exactly. Onision in real life. Before we get to this documentary, let's discuss our thoughts on Onision before we get started.
Is there much else we can even mention that we haven't even talked about already?
Well, um, we already know how much of a piece of shit he is, and
Mm.
I know I mentioned before I used to be a fan of him when I first viewed him and everything.
You fool!
Well, even though I was 18 at the time when I first viewed him, I didn't know much about him until I did some research and digging around.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
and he so far he's been on at least two of my YouTube failure lists. One was from 2011, and another from 2020. So clearly, he has certainly improved in the past decade since he started making YouTube videos. But so you actually watched the Chris Hansen documentary, and there's been a very, very mixed reaction to this documentary. Most of it is, in fact, negative, and there is a variety of reasons for that. Let's see, Chris Hansen, I know he's a meme. He's basically an internet meme. Why don't you have a seat over there? But I think, like when he was doing To Catch a Predator, it really seemed like he was more of the the spokesperson or the basically the mouth of the show. Because honestly, as an investigator, he's really not that reliable of an investigator.
mm-mm. He's not that good because from what I heard, the case he did on Onision wasn't really constructed well. On
No.
top of that, he really failed to get an interview with Onision.
Yeah, so because he originally, like after the Shiloh thing, that he and his cohort, co-conspirator, or whatever the word is, they were supposed to be a laptop that had all the information to expose him, and it mysteriously got lost.
Mm, yeah.
And
Also,
so, oh, go ahead.
I heard that Onision did not want to, did not want the interview to be like, pre-recorded. He wanted to be like, live.
Yeah, but like even to this date, Hansen has not had an actual interview with Onision. He had a trial which ended up getting thrown out, but nothing else from there.
That's right.
So, for whatever inexplicable reason, Hansen decided to make a documentary series exclusively for Discovery Plus, and there's been a lot of controversies for that. One of the big ones is that basically it's being used, like Hansen and several of the people behind it are basically using it for monetary gain. And because I don't know how much revenue is being profited off it. I'm not entirely sure how Discovery Plus works like that. I mean, I don't know. Like for every, like, it's what, $4.99 a month.
It's $4.99 a month. I'm already on the free subscription of Discovery Plus.
Ah,
Yeah, so
so
yeah,
you didn't have to actually pay money to watch this documentary.
yeah, for 7 days only.
Mm.
So I'm only on the free subscription.
All right, and I do recall Shiloh, who was the girl who Onision stripped naked and recorded having a seizure that one time when she was underage,
Hmm.
or however long it was. Um, uh, she said that she would not partake in this documentary unless every one of Greg's victims were involved.
Hmm.
Spoil,
Well,
and apparently not everyone was involved.
that's right. The only people I could consider involved was Chris Hansen, herself, and this guy who Onision calls a parasite, and his dad, and also Ed, this police officer, and there's these other people that I saw in the documentary. This woman, I can't seem to remember her name, but I know she talked about Onision in the documentary.
Wasn't Cecil McFly, was it?
Mm-mm.
No, I didn't think so.
No, it's this blonde hair girl that Onision doesn't seem to remember, in his opinion.
Mm.
Oh, if you didn't notice, Onision made responses to this documentary.
What do you have to say?
Well, he said that this documentary was complete lies and everything else.
Tell me lies, tell me dank little lies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so when I was watching his responses and stuff, I can't really tell if he was lying or not. It was very hard to tell since he disabled the likes and dislikes and also the comments and everything. So it's very difficult to tell.
Suffice it to say, his YouTube channel is done at this point. Like, I'm
Yeah.
surprised it took as long as it did, considering all the shit he's done. He's been misusing the copyright system. At least two of my videos that feature him got flagged, but I was able to get one back, but the other one just it's still, like, I can't make money on it, but it's still live, and that was the second half of the YouTube failure list that we did last year. But yeah, he's been flagging videos. He's been getting into fights with multiple YouTubers. It's like, and apparently YouTube finally decided to get rid of his monetization because I guess they saw the documentary and were like, yeah, we don't want to deal with you anymore. And it's like, where have you been like the past decade?
There's actually been more documentaries besides this one. I also heard that Onision made a documentary about himself.
No bias.
Yeah, I think there's actually some other documentaries made before this one, like in 2019. There was one they mentioned in the documentary. I only show like one clip of it, and that was it in this documentary.
Yeah, it's messed up, but I have not seen the documentary, and I don't plan on watching it because I don't want. I'm probably gonna feel icky just watching it, basically for monetary gain. But you watch the documentary, and you have a whole notebook filled with notes talking about the documentary. So go ahead and tell us what you were able to write down about it.
All righty. First, I'm going to discuss the positives about this documentary first, and then we're going to get on to the negatives.
Okay.
All right. Since this documentary was divided into episodes, just like the Surviving R. Kelly show.
Trapped in the
So I had to do section episode 1, episode 2, and episode 3. And even though the R. Kelly show was a lot more successful and she had more effort to it.
Yeah, and at least R. Kelly got arrested. Onision is still free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ed?
All right, so positives. I like that they established the relationship that Shiloh and Greg had. In the documentary, they basically explain what kind of relationship Shiloh and Greg had and stuff, where she mentioned that she was 17 when she was 17, and Greg was about like 26, 26, I believe,
Mm.
and they fell in love and everything. And of course, according to the documentary, Greg was getting a divorce from his wife named Sky.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember they didn't have a good relationship back then when that went on and everything. I do kind of remember Shiloh because Shiloh was in some of the videos that I've watched in the past on Onision. And from what I noticed, they didn't have a good relationship either.
No.
Mm-mm. So the stuff they used to get around the story was very detailed. Also, I like the fact that it was a part of the main focus of the documentary. So I like the fact that they got this relationship, become part of the main focus because that was kind of the reasons why people started hating Onision. So at least they got that part right.
Mm.
At least they got that part and stuff. And now we get to this positive. I like that they got Greg's father on here telling his story about Greg. What really shocked me about this documentary was to seeing Greg's father. And when I saw Greg's father, a Robert Daniel, that's his name, it was really shocking to see him on there. And I never thought that he mentioned about his son and everything.
Yeah, just the fact that he got his parents into the documentary is actually pretty messed up.
Well, they never got his mother on the documentary. They only got his father only.
Okay.
I don't think his mother heard anything about his documentary.
No.
Nor his stepmom.
Mm.
His stepmom was mentioned in this documentary, but she wasn't in the documentary.
All right.
So those are my only positives about episode 1.
Mm.
But here are my negatives. They missed some points of the story on why people hate Onision. So if you didn't watch the Mary, you realize they actually missed a lot of points. So they missed a lot of points in the documentary about why people hated Onision.
What kind of points?
Okay. It was not because of the Chris Hansen case, nor the girls telling about knowing the girls telling their story about Greg, even though it was kind of like that, but it was because that YouTubers started telling their opinion of why why people should hate Onision. What I mean by that is that when YouTubers saw the stuff that he's uploading, they realized how much of a terrible person he is. And when it comes to knowing Onision, we can tell how terrible he is. He's narcissistic. He's definitely doesn't know how to take criticism very well, and he thinks he's always, right. And he thinks he's like Jesus and stuff. He thinks he's like something like that. But anyway, a lot of people hate Onision for many reasons. I mean, he's been hated for a lot of reasons and stuff.
Well, yeah, I have noted, like, there have definitely been other documentaries, like, on YouTube, like, I definitely recommend looking up Cecil McFly's on YouTube, because, one, you don't have to actually pay money to watch it, and two, she actually does a much more detailed job of going over everything that Onision's done in the past, going back as far as 2009, and,
hold on 1 second.
Okay.
What? I'm gonna eat dinner in just a second, okay?
Don't worry. I'll be right back. But yeah, continuing on. But it's like the problem I have noticed with a lot of like like there are documentaries that do focus a lot of info, but there's also like like it's true that people do hate Onision, but there's also the cases where people actually believe everything's fake, and like sometimes there's the problem with documentaries is that there will be some fabrications here and there, but like just the fact that there are still people like even with this documentary alone, and
Sorry.
it's all right. I just spouted a bunch of garbage that meant nothing. But like the problem with like there are people. Unfortunately, there are still people who will defend Onision. Like Keemstar, like the guy who never does any research, he still believes that Onision is innocent, even though you can literally just go on YouTube and see the videos of him with Shiloh, and it's like, how do you defend this? But he'll go, "Oh, she's of age, my man," or it's all a skit, and it's like, it doesn't matter. You don't upload a video of a underage girl naked having a seizure. That's fucked up beyond belief.
Yes, it's really fucked up because that can really damage a girl if you dare do that.
Yeah, but it's like, and it feels sick. It feels icky having to see like a documentary like this because this isn't like To Catch a Predator where you're basically hiring plants to act as the targets. These are real people and these are real victims, and you're basically monetizing everything off of it, which is messed up.
Exactly, and this is what I'm going to talk about right now in my negatives.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris Hansen had no reason to be one of the main focus of the documentary because he didn't do much for the case of Onision. Also, Chris Hansen only became part the main focus is because that he was in debt at the time with the IRS.
Oh yes,
So
I remember that.
He went. So he wanted to get money off the Onision case. Also sold his rights to Discovery Plus.
That's messed up.
So yeah, he was just in here for money only, and I can tell why because when I saw him popping up on this documentary, it got really annoying because he was not the main focus.
No,
there was more story to it, so it really made no sense for him to be the main focus of this documentary.
Like going up into it, he never really was the whole. Like the only time he became the main focus was up until like late 2019 when Shiloh was interviewing him. Why is the focus always on you? Why can't the focus be on Greg's and his relationship with these girls and these people and all this other things? I don't know.
Yeah, and now it gets so. Yeah, overall, this episode was okay. I wish they elaborate about why people hate Onision. Also,
Yeah.
Chris Hansen had no reason to be the main focus.
He was in it for the money.
That's right. I like the story about Shiloh's relationship with Greg, and also Greg's father's side of the story as well. So yeah, the episode was okay, even though I was pretty disappointed with the episode at times.
How long are these episodes?
The first one was about let me pull them up.
Oh boy.
They're not. They are over an hour long.
Really? I presume it was like 22 minutes long. How do you manage to fit that much info? Well, actually, Cecil was able to make like 2-hour episodes of video to get all this info out. But it's like, man.
Well, here's the time. Here's the time limit. The first one was 54 minutes long, and the second one is 15 minutes long, and the third one is 49 minutes long.
Damn. That's a lot of milk. So, next episode?
All right, episode 2, which is actually called You've Destroyed Me.
Pff.
The first one was called Banana Power. That's what it's called.
Oh, because of the banana thing?
Yes, they showed one clip of, the banana video on Tosh.0.
Oh.
I still like Tosh.0. It's hilarious.
Ugh.
You like Tosh.0?
No.
No.
No. He's a hack.
Well, at least it's better than Ray William Johnson.
I don't know. Like Ray knew when to stop making those dumb videos, and decided to focus on other things.
I do
Daniel,
like it. I do like his philosopher videos. He
yeah,
was funny. It was funny to those.
yeah. So, so
All right.
episode two.
Okay. I like the fact that they got told more story. Sorry. I like that they told more stuff about Greg's relationships. Also, they were able to get more info on what Greg is like as a person when someone starts a relationship with him. So, in the documentary, they actually mentioned more stuff about him and Shiloh and everything, and what their relationship was like and stuff. So, at least they got more info about that and everything. So, I like the fact they got more info.
You think though, like on episode one, they try to elaborate more and give us more of an introduction to everything wrong. Was this in episode two? This is just when they decide that now is the time to start elaborating.
Yeah,
Dumb.
but yeah. There's also some other interesting stuff in the episode too. I like the Taylor story as well. If you don't know who Taylor is, Taylor actually later on became Onision's husband.
Kai now.
That's right. Kai was actually not a well, guy at first. It was a girl.
She was a girl and then transitioned into a guy named
Hmm.
Kai.
That's right. She was first called Lady Bot, and then changed her channel to Cool Guy Kai.
Hmm.
So yeah, apparently, from what I heard in the documentary, Onision actually broke her and changed her personality when they got together and stuff. And then in the documentary, it mentioned that they became both predators and started luring girls in.
Yeah, there was one girl. I forget her name, but I think she was a young teenager, and they started sending nudes or lewds of themselves to this girl.
I think that was Regina and Sarah.
Sarah, that was the I think that was the girl I remember.
Yeah. So yeah, that part was pretty interesting. Um, all right. So I like the terror story as well because it's interesting that Gray can change a person's behavior just like that.
Interesting and kind of screwed up.
Meaning that Gray broke these girls' personalities and changed them completely. From the documentary, it sounds like that Gray actually has like a disorder known as borderline personality disorder. And I've been with someone that has borderline personality disorder. It's a really tough thing to ever, get around to. It's where you basically, um, where the person starts to be nice to you and stuff, but then they start manipulating you, controlling you, and yeah, start abusing you, and things get worse.
Yeah, you notice in like some of his videos where he's talking like a normal person, and then all of a sudden he's just having a complete meltdown and freaking out, and some have said it's all just an act, it's just like he basically turns into Jonathan Ross, who was this. It was this young. He was like in his early 20s, but he admitted he looked up kids in a bathtub, and when people started calling him out for it, he's quiet at first, and then he's just like screaming like a maniac, and eventually he got arrested, and now he's in a correctional facility where he got lobotomized. So I don't think that's what's going to happen to Greg, but at this point, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now we get to the negatives of this episode. Like I said before, Chris Hansen has no reason to be the main focus. Also,
Again.
I heard that these girls he interviewed didn't want to share their story about Greg. Yeah, this is where
yes,
we get to
there we go.
The controversy and stuff.
Yes, because Shiloh said she didn't want to get involved unless all the girls were involved. But then you watch the documentary and you see some of Greg's victims with their faces blurred out, which only means that they didn't agree to being part of the documentary. So Shiloh, what the hell are you doing in here when all of the victims haven't agreed to doing this? Dude.
I agree. So yeah, because they felt uncomfortable about their stories being told on this documentary. Also, the other YouTubers felt uncomfortable too,
It's like if you're uncomfortable, why would they still show the clips?
but they show the videos anyway. Also, they blur their faces as well.
It's fecal matter.
So yeah, when I first saw the videos and did some digging around with some research about this documentary, yeah, it just proves the fact that Discovery Plus decided to show the footage anyway without permission whatsoever. And when a company does that, it's gonna be really not good because the company can get sued for those kind of reasons for showing footage that they have no permission.
I don't
So
even think
yeah,
I don't even think Discovery Plus even knew about the stuff that was going on. Hansen said, "Oh, I got this documentary I want to put on here for Discovery Plus, and I'm sure we can get a lot of viewers for it. We don't have all the information about it. We're not going to share any of that, but no, like why?
yeah. I felt like that. I felt like they should not put those videos on there
No,
because they didn't have permission to put them on there. Also, the Juni Cooney story wasn't well constructed. It's like they didn't elaborate very well.
mm.
Okay, so in the documentary, they mentioned about Eugenia Cooney in this episode. Eugenia Cooney was a girl that was suffering from anorexia.
Yeah,
It's a person that goes through
doesn't eat.
starving themselves, and yeah. So basically, Greg Onision started making videos about her, and he started making money off that as well by saying harsh things about her, uh, losing a lot of weight and everything, and trying to tell her to just eat and stuff. And it kind of really damaged Eugenia when she heard all this stuff because Greg was very harsh on her. He was very harsh.
Mm. Yeah. Oh boy. Sorry, I need a little fuel. Poland Spring. Yeah. What else happened in the episode? Because wasn't this the one where they had the detractor show up, or was that episode 3?
In episode 2, they basically show more YouTube videos where they show some clips of Repsion, even though Repsion got well, Repsion. I watched his videos and his responses to the documentary. His responses were pretty good, and also he was supposed to be interviewed for a documentary, but unfortunately, they rejected him. But
Wait, they rejected him?
Yeah, Repsion actually mentioned in one of his videos that they rejected him, and they didn't really do an interview for him that much. And then all of a sudden, they just used the videos anyway that he.
So basically, they stole his videos.
Exactly, they stole most of the videos from the YouTubers on this documentary.
That's a copyright takedown right there.
Yeah.
Like you say, oh, it's a false flag. No, if you're using somebody's footage like that for a documentary on this, that's not right.
Yeah. So yeah, they did stole some of the videos from the YouTubers because when I'm doing some digging around, I noticed that one of the YouTubers said that they showed some proof on the Discovery actually talked to them and emailed them about this documentary that they're working on, but they didn't really do much interviews. They did just quick interviews and just got the footage without permission.
That's just stupid. What kind of documentary? You're supposed to be doing thorough interviews, asking all kinds of questions, and trying to get as much info out as you can. Like all they did was just do some rapid fire interviews and then go bye. That's not how you do a documentary.
Yeah, they really messed up. So overall, this episode was not good, despite it has better details about Greg's relationships. But Chris Hansen and Discovery Plus really screwed us up.
Indeed.
So after discovering that this episode didn't really do much too much detail on why Chris Hansen was the main focus to it, even though he has no reason to be, because Chris Hansen just messed up on the case. He didn't really do the case very well.
No.
I mean,
And to think if they had actually like gotten, to think that if they hadn't lost that briefcase, they probably we probably actually I'm not sure if the documentary would have still gotten made or not, but it's just a complete mess.
yeah, it really is. Okay, so now we're on episode 3, which is called Unmonitored and Chaotic. And oh boy,
Is that supposed to be a reference to something?
I don't know, but all I know is that this episode is pretty chaotic. And I don't mean that in a crazy and interesting way. I mean that in a bad way.
Well,
Because this episode is whew,
the worst.
bad. Oh yeah, it's the worst of the documentary.
Here we go.
If you thought episode 2 was bad, oh boy, episode 3 is worse.
All right.
Okay, so positives. Shiloh's side was once again very detailed and well constructed, and that's about it. Like that's it. Like when you hear Shiloh's side of the story in this documentary, that's the only interesting thing they get right. It's like they didn't really, focus on the other stuff they were going to mention about him. It's like they just throw that stuff out of the window. Yeah, so yeah, that was definitely not good. Now you have to make
they decided to stop focusing on the Shiloh stuff and start do something else, or
well, in the documentary they do mention more in the documentary, episode 3, they do get some more info. However, like I said before in episode 2, they still got some footage they have no permission for.
figures.
So yeah, this episode gets worse. Not only they start showing more footage that they were supposed not to show because they didn't have permission to show it, but also they try to make us YouTubers the bad guys.
Oh, so we're the heels now.
They think YouTubers are bullies, villains, or some people that keep on making money.
Because that's the point. That is the point of like YouTube partnership program is you want to make money.
So yeah, in the documentary, they mention that us YouTubers just like keeping money. First of all, that's not true. Not every YouTuber makes money on YouTube.
Yeah, most
Hell,
of them.
I don't even make...
like my YouTube channel's been constantly getting demonetized and remonetized constantly for no discernible reason. Lots of YouTube channels have been getting their monetization taken away. Shane Dawson just lost his. Onision lost his. Mine kind of came back, but I don't know how long that's gonna stay. It's like shame on you for us making money off of YouTube. When meanwhile, you put together this documentary to make a profit, well, because of some IRS problems you were having in real life. How dare you?
Indeed, I mean, it's really irritating the fact they decided to do this and stuff, and try to make us think we're the bad guys. And
because in a way, you're making, with the way it sounds like they're trying to make Greg the good guy.
Well, not entirely. They just try to make YouTubers bad guys because there's a lot of criticisms that are going towards Chris Hansen, and Chris Hansen just calls them bullies. And also this documentary tries to make Chris Hansen the hero, but in reality he's not. He ruined the case. So how is that making him the hero?
You got me, bruh.
And again, Chris Hansen is not the main focus. Like I said, he's only in this for money, and it shows. With all the stuff that he keeps on popping up in, and him narrating the story. So yeah, it just shows he's just in this for money. Some of the criticisms about Chris Hansen were going to be on here as well, but barely any of them are in this documentary. So they really screwed us up. So apparently there was supposed to be a lot of criticism towards Chris Hansen. Like, for example, Respion did a lot of criticism towards Chris Hansen for multiple reasons, because he knew how much of a scumbag he was when it came to profiting off of people that he actually interviewed and stuff.
Mm.
And so as the other YouTubers that were going to be involved with this documentary, including Blair White and that kind of stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, Blair White was mentioning this, and so as other YouTubers that Onision knew and all kind of stuff. So yeah, it was definitely a really hectic thing going on and stuff.
And what was the story? Because apparently they had a detractor. I forget his name. It wasn't Cecil McFly. It wasn't Repsion. I think that there was another, because he said it was called him a Onision detractor in the subtitle, but I forget his name. Do you remember? Or...
Well, for our number, even though this documentary was very hard to tell, um, they've gotten like this guy named Ed, who's actually a sheriff, and they're trying to see if they can get Onision arrested.
Yeah.
Of course, it just shows in the according to the documentary, it shows clips of where Chris Hansen knocked on Onision's door and everything and stuff. And of course, you hear Onision in the background saying, "You get away, old man."
Like, I don't care. This was the peak of the whole saga. Is Chris Hansen knocking on Greg's door and Greg basically going hiding into his basement to call the police. Like, regardless of the whole thing, it's still the most hilariously awful thing to happen. But well,
So yeah, overall, this is the worst episode after seeing what I have to offer. I have to say this documentary is horrible.
was that seriously it? Is that seriously just the 3 episodes, or is there going to be more?
That was it, because
That is seriously it.
yeah,
Wait
there's
a
only
minute.
3 episodes.
I gotta look into this. This was all this shit, and they do a 3 episodes, and it's basically, let's see, Onision in real life. 67% on Rotten Tomatoes, 3.8 on IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
That is astonishingly low. So it's only 3 hours long. Yeah, 3 hours long. And it really sounds like they just talked about, they didn't really get through most of the stuff.
They didn't. It really screwed up. They pretty much screwed up when
What?
I was watching this documentary.
What kind of documentary is this?
It looks like a cheap investigation case instead of a documentary, because the way it was done, they're trying to get like a investigation case story around, not like a documentary way. Because there's a difference between an investigation case story and a documentary. And the way they try to consider this the documentary is really botched up. Like, there's some stuff in here that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, and like a year ago, like there were many times I thought, Greg's probably going to be going to jail for this. At this point, I don't think he is, because this investigation got so botched that it basically made Greg come off as the actual victim and everything.
Yeah, that's right. They're trying to make him the actual victim.
They're trying to make him the circus act of everything. And
yeah,
like I don't like getting into politics, but considering that there's been a lot of cases, a lot of cases very similar to Greg's situation, and most of them got thrown out because they weren't handled well. But with Greg, he's already lost monetization. His YouTube career is over at this point. He's not going to do anything. He's probably just going to hover over and continue to make a living off of his OnlyFans account. Which, no, I am not doing a reaction to any of his crap on his OnlyFans. Screw that. Screw that. But yeah, at this point, the best case scenario is to just let Onision just drift away into obscurity, because
Yeah, that's right.
and the really astonishing thing is like people like there were some YouTubers I do recall like Boogie said because of what happened with Onision getting demonetized and such, this is going to be bad news for us YouTubers, and it's like, why? You like you're gonna get, you're not all gonna get demonetized because of a documentary, because one, you didn't get involved, and two, you didn't groom your fans. So as long as you
Exactly.
behave, as long you behave, you don't do any hammy pamby with your fans and whatnot, your channel's going to be fine. So
Mhm.
you don't have to worry about any of that crap. But
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, but to call us YouTubers the victims, really, really. But I don't. But I don't think like anything bad's gonna happen to our channels or anything. But like the video I'm making now, it's not. It's not a bullying video. It's not a. It's not a KYS video. It's basically we're just giving our thoughts. It's a commentary. It's a criticism of what has happened. This documentary was a bad idea from the start. And you compared it to the R. Kelly scene. R. Kelly at least got arrested and stuff. This was
Right.
this was just glorifying a guy who hasn't even been arrested yet. It was just an attempt to monetize off some shitty YouTuber who, well, who is pretty much been is on everybody's hate list at this point. Hell, he's been on two of mine, but it's like this is a complete waste, and it's like the real sad thing is like I'll see ads for Discovery Plus on Facebook, and the first thing that comes up is Onision in real life thing, and you look at the comment section, there are so many angry emotes down there and so many negative comments. It's like, this is why people want to cancel Discovery Plus, and I don't want that to happen because I do want to watch it for the BattleBots bounty matches and whatever they got going, because there is a lot of material that is worth viewing on there, I'm sure.
Well, here's the biggest
Just
problem
not
with this.
this.
Well, here's the biggest problem with Discovery Plus I have. When they make shows, they really don't seem to care at times for the fans they please and everything. For example, when they released a show called Call of the Wild Man, that show was by far the worst show ever on Animal Planet. On Animal Planet, like it got took it off the air for many reasons. Like it used to be a really good show, and the problem with that show is they found out that Turtle Man, the guy who's supposed to be an animal lover,
Mm.
he's actually an animal abuser.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so
So
they
so
found
so
that.
they canceled it and then decided to just put it right on Discovery Plus. Like Discovery
No,
Plus, no?
no, they took it off at Discovery Plus because
Oh,
they were so ashamed of that show, and they got so much controversy about it and everything. So yeah, so
so
they took it off the air and of Discovery and everything, and so as Animal Planet. So they decided not to mention the show anymore.
yeah, so basically because they don't care about doing their own research. They just want material.
That's right.
They're
And
basically the Keemstar. No, they're not as bad as Keemstar, but yeah,
yeah,
it's guys, do yourselves a favor. If you have Discovery Plus, you got so many different options. You got the BattleBots bounty hunter matches. You
yeah,
got, I forget what else you got on there. You got your uh, is Infested still has episodes on there, right?
yeah. They still do, but they only have seasons 1 and 2. They took down season 3, which I was really disappointed by.
Yeah, that sucks. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I was.
there's you can definitely spend your time with all different shows to watch. Don't waste your 3 hours watching this documentary,
Yeah, don't waste your
like poor
time.
Hunter did. Send him a donation and some iguana
Yeah.
food. I think that's gonna do it, Hunter. I'm sorry you had to put yourself through this, but
It's all right. I wanted to talk about Onision anyway because I never actually got a chance to talk about him at all
yeah, we
in
basically
his
laughed at
videos.
him at the last one.
True, but I think we need to make a video based on just him, not just the other people.
Yeah,
Since you already mentioned about Shane Dawson, you're in one of your videos,
yeah.
and now
Shane, he's basically been canceled because of the whole James Charles controversy, and
mhm.
what was his face with the makeup and all the tattoos? I've already forgotten. Jeffree Star.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I think I probably heard of him
yeah.
with him.
He's a piece of shit, but
Mm.
yeah, but there's a lot of YouTubers out there, but at
Yeah,
least hopefully things get better from here. So
yeah, I hope so too.
yeah, so uh, I guess that's all we have left to say. We've been doing this for like 50 minutes. That is a lot of time. But until next time, guys, I'm the Hardcore Kid.
Hunter Ivy.
Peace out and subscribe. Yeah, get the heck out of here. Ugh.
All right. But if you want to subscribe, that's your choice.
Yes. If you choose to make the choice, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice.
All
All
right.
right. See you later.
See ya.